Hello students and viewer. I am going to discuss now internal factors which is going to affect plant growth. In previous lecture we have seen about internal factors, external factors, and now in this chapter it is internal factors. So which are those internal factors? So see here, genetic factor, nutritional factor and hormonal factor. These are three internal factors which is going to affect the growth. So let us start with the first, genetic factor. So we know that every plant has a specific genome in it, and because of which the physical setup of the plant is occurs. Means suppose dwarf variety, if the genes of dwarf variety will be there, then plant remain, it's a dwarfing condition. Let me take pen. So genes of dwarf variety remains dwarf and the genes of tall variety becomes tall. Means which kind of genes present within the plant is going to uh, specify or going to have that kind of plant only. So genetic factors are very important for the growth of plant. If the plant becomes dwarf, that doesn't mean any environmental condition is going to uh, affect that particular plant. That is the gene which is present within the plant which decides the height and the growth of plant. Now, these genetic factors determines the branching and growth pattern, the season and the period of vegetative and reproductive growth. So all these things, branching pattern, growth pattern, period of vegetative growth, as well as reproductive growth. So according to the genes, how they are expressing within the plant, so according to that, they will have the particular vegetative and reproductive growth. So genetic factors also responsible for growth pattern of that particular plant. Now, next is factor, that is nutritional factor. So what are those nutritional factors and which factor they are said to be nutritional and how important for the plant? So here we know one term, that is autotrophic. So autotrophic is nothing but what? The plant which synthesize their own food. Those plants they are said to be autotrophic. So when a particular level of nutrition is achieved by a particular plant, then we said that growth is happened to the plant. So when the rate of respiration is more than the rate of photosynthesis, see, this is very important. When the rate of respiration is more than the rate of photosynthesis, then there will be a no proper growth. Growth is not possible because whatever the product, whatever the end product of photosynthesis, that is nothing but what? Glucose is the end product of photosynthesis, and that same glucose is going to take up for the respiration process. Then what will happen? Means whatever the content which is available, which is made available by the photosynthesis process, that is taken up by the respiration process rather than the growth of particular plant. So which process should be more and which process should be less? So here for having proper growth, we must have photosynthesis rate is more. See my next sentence. The photosynthesis should be more than the respiration, then growth will occur. Right? So respiration, if it is respiration more than the photosynthesis, growth is not happen. And if the photosynthesis rate is more, then growth is going to have in a proper way. Other factors such as pigment content, see, apart from this respiration and photosynthesis rate, pigment content, then enzymatic activity, then capacity to store food reserve also affect the growth of plant. Now see what is this photosynthetic rate. So photosynthetic rate is nothing but what? The rate of CO2 assimilation in plant is known as photosynthetic rate. So this photosynthetic rate it depend on light quantity, then quality as well as light interception. Light interception is nothing but what? Light absorption. That is known as light interception. So light interception depends on leaf size, leaf area and total leaf canopy. Means how much amount of light is absorbed by the plant particular leaf is depend on the size of leaf. Size of leaf is more, then light absorption will be a more. Leaf area will be more, then higher amount of light intensity will be absorbed and is going to fall on the that particular leaf. So all these three things are very important for the light interception. So other factors see here CO2 concentration, temperature, leaf pigment activity of photosynthetic enzymes also controls the photosynthetic rate. Now see photosynthetic rate in which kind of plants. So we know that there are two kinds of plants, C3 plants and C4 plants. So what these names are given C3 and C4. So C3 is nothing but what? Where plant they are having their first product which is 3 carbon containing. So those plants they are called as what? C3 containing C3 plants. Whereas the plant which forms the first product which is 4 carbon containing, then we call those plants as a C4 plant. So here see photosynthetic rate of C3 plant. So C3 for plant example, take a simple example is your sunflower, right? Or a wheat. Take example of these plants. So C3 plants in which the photosynthetic is lesser. Why this is again a lesser photosynthetic rate is lesser because in this C3 plants one enzyme is there rubisco which carried out the which combines with the oxygen and carried out the photorespiration process. And because of increase in the photorespiration, the photosynthetic rate is going to increase. And hence the photosynthetic rate of C3 plant is less than the photosynthetic rate of C4 plant. In C4 plant, if oxygen is taken up for the formation of oxaloacetic acid and further byproducts. Means in this C4 plant, photorespiration is avoided and hence the photosynthetic rate of C4 plant is more than the C3 plant. So again the photosynthetic rate as I said C4 plant has more than the C3 plant. So this photosynthetic rate is responsible for accumulation of food which then affects the growth of plant. Now see pigment content also has the effect. So here so see which are those main pigments and what is the role of it. So we know that photosynthetic pigments like chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotene and xanthophyll. These are very important pigments which are responsible for growth of plant. So here see we know that chlorophyll. So chlorophyll are master molecules in photosynthesis and hence the content of chlorophyll indirectly affect the growth. I mean, suppose the plant has a proper amount of chlorophyll, then photosynthesis rate will be a more. Because these chlorophyll pigments, they are going to have the photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 and this photosystem helps to this photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 they are helping in photosynthesis process. So when these leaves become senescent or yellow, see, so there is tremendous loss in or degradation in chlorophyll content. So plant do not show any growth even when other factors are favorable. Means if the leaves become senescent or yellow and if the other factors are favorable, then there is no use. Means only the leaf or the plant part containing chlorophyll is useful for a proper growth of plant. So pigment system they form the photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 as I explained right earlier. So which are very important in photosynthesis. Now see enzyme activity. So we know that enzyme activity. So all these enzymes, they are useful for physiological processes, and enzyme again they are uh, if enzyme stimulating or enzyme inhibited. So according to that again the our plant growth processes they are going to affect. If the enzymes will be there, then proper uh, cycle, photosynthesis cycle as well as respiration cycle will take place. If the enzymes get inhibited, then our cycles, these metabolic catabolic activities within the plant, they are going to affect and ultimately it's going to affect on the growth of plant. So likewise, these three things, that is photosynthetic rate, pigment content and enzyme activity, we have learned under nutritional factor. Now come to the last factor, that is hormonal factor. So hormonal factors are what and how they are going to affect. So, like genetic factor and nutritional factor, the hormonal balance of the plant, they are going to affect the growth of the plant. The normal synthesis and accumulation of phytohormones like auxin, gibberellins, cytokinin, they controls the plant growth. So here see, for the normal synthesis of a plant, we must have gibberellins and cytokinins, and these two they are going to control our plant growth. Suppose the auxin, it is present or it is secretes in a high amount, hyper quantity, then there will be a abnormal growth of the plant will take place. And abnormal growth in what sense? It is going to increase the plant height, it's going to increase the size of leaves, flowers and fruits. So again the higher concentration of these hormones going to affect, going to have the adverse effect on the plant. So, natural hormones like auxins, gibberellins, cytokinin, and abscisic acid, that is ABA, and ethylene, they are plays very important or the crucial role in plant growth. So, likewise, I have covered three factors, that is genetic factor, nutritional factor, and hormonal factor. So, these are the three internal factor which plays again very important role for the growth of plant. So thank you for watching this video.